Hey, what's up, guys? It's Carlos here. Let's talk, the voice of El Paso. So let's talk about something. There's a few pro fighters that have chosen not to get their high school diploma and continue their education because they chose to follow the sport. Their decision, from Brandon Rodriguez to Floyd Mayweather, they're both going to be Hall of Famers. Hopefully, Bam doesn't get hurt, right, and stop his career early because his trajectory is. He's on a 90-degree angle right now, which is awesome. But the one thing that I want to talk about is them not, and others who are like, well, I'm going to pursue boxing as opposed to get a high school diploma. I'll be the first one to say, follow your dream, follow your calling, follow your passion. I will always say that. But I think you have to be smart about it as well. And the reason I say that is, God forbid you get injured, but you didn't get high school. You didn't get a high school diploma, right? You didn't complete your high school years. Now you got to go back and get your GED. What if it takes you a few tries, right? What are you doing in the meantime? You may have made some money, so you might have something to survive off of. But that's only going to last you for so long, right? That's just, money comes and money goes. And the more you have, the more you spend. Even if it's not an incredibly luxurious lifestyle, you have more so you can spend more. That's just the nature of the world, right? This is the big one. This is what I always think about, right? Is if you don't have a little bit of an education, you're literally trusting the people around you with your money. I trust people with a lot of things, but one thing I definitely never trust people with is my money. How do I make money? How do I make my money make more money? Those are the little things that you have to look into. But if you don't have that knowledge, or if you're not with somebody that has your best interest at heart, you could lose a lot of money because you just don't know any better, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a manager. This is probably going to ruffle feathers, but it could be a family member. So while you're fighting and you're training and you're dealing with what you got to deal with as a fighter, you always run the risk of somebody that's scheming to make a little bit more money off of you. But if you don't have that knowledge to figure out what's going on, or you don't know how to balance your bills very well, you're going to lose a lot of money. There are programs to help you that completely, run programs. I do. And I'm not saying that there's not ways to mitigate it, even without an education. But no, if you don't have an education, you're just making it a little bit harder for yourself. I'm not saying you need to get a full associate's degree, a full bachelor's degree, master's, doctorate. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, get the bare minimum. Get your high school diploma and take an accounting class once every so often. Take a class, take a math class. Take an English class. Especially if you're reading contracts and you're trying to figure out what these guys are saying and they start to write it in lawyer. Yeah, that's definitely going to affect you, right? Just something to think about, just kicking knowledge, At the end of the day, I do wish everybody the very best. I'm not there to sit there and say that college is the way to go, because the truth is not everybody's made for college, and some people are just gifted and they work hard and they can get to the pros at a very young age in this sport. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what I am saying is, as a way to protect yourself, make sure you have a little bit. Make sure you get enough to that way you can survive and people don't bullshit you. As always, this is Carlos at Let's Talk, the voice of El Paso. Talk to me and I'll talk back. Peace.